Morning. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professionals IGP. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professionals IGP. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us till the end. Honorable knowledge seekers, today I am your host for the morning. My name is Premolata, I am from Bangladesh. Dear knowledge seekers, I am proud to be associated with IGP. IGP is a social and ISO certified international educational and training institute. In the last 3 years, we have already served 35, 30, 300, 500 plus million knowledge seekers from 100 plus countries. IGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 450 plus professionals and 4,500 plus organizations. Institute of Global Professionals IGP and ISO 9001, 2050 and 1002, 2018 is a training facility for skill development which was founded in 2020 and is generating competent candidates to meet demand in the global labor market by providing professional qualifications. The Institute of Global Professionals is an educational institute that provides social work globally recognized and reputable. We serve students and community resources providing holistic social work and education. We believe that it's not effective to increase one's skills just by acquiring formal education. So we provide effective training and consultation to generate professional generation all over the world. We distribute our services locally, nationally, and internationally to students, job seekers, job holders, also for learners. Through respective campus locations and distance learning platforms, we are an occupational and dependable institution. IGP is one of the most famous online institutes from all over the world. Our vision is education is not a business product. It's a part of our human rights. Based on our vision, we are trying to reach all corners of the world for free webinars, seminars, courses, awards, purchase, monitoring, and counseling training. On the other side, we are also trying to offer more than 100 premium services for free skill like creating our portfolio website, resume builder, cover letter, motivation letter, and world knowledge platform for gathering general knowledge, which can update all day. Cards learning, games website, free courses, converter sites, and many more. We have to empower you to learn to meet their expectations and dreams and become highly skilled people. We implement several training programs, webinars, and offline online courses for youth and learners by professional trainers, speakers, and coaches. Our sessions are conducted by globally renowned professionals to develop all kinds of growth and to promote the education of their abilities and personalities. Spreading knowledge is crucial for the Institute of Global Professionals. We believe that knowledge is love, light, and vision. So we try to understand the needs of today's generation and to serve them with good research and practice method. We must have a genuine concern for the learners. We have to present more diversity, growth, and innovation are required. To lead a session with professionalism, passion, and integrity. IGP members are committed to offering effective, best quality service and continual improvement so that individuals who seek information can improve their skill levels and value. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comments. Your support is very valuable to us. Thank you. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comments. Your support is very valuable to us. Thank you. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, we have already come to 1461 webinars successfully. Wow. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, we have already completed 1461 webinars successfully. Dear IGP speakers, participants, and well-wishers, at this moment, this is a very important message for you all. We changed and designed our website www.eduigp.com. On this website, we have services for everyone. Hope you will be benefited. We already launched our new website where you can find all of our previous activities together with a lots of new features. But one strong point is that without an account or login, you can't enjoy our services. So create your account for once with your proper information. Note that with your proper information, you will enjoy all features. With misplaced data, you can't do anything here. From now on, you have to participate in live quiz competition on our website. We replace Slido. You have to join directly on our website. Now you can check all of our previous webinars 1420 plus with verified e-certificates. Now it's easier and time oriented because after this session we will not provide you a training code for certification. You have to take part in one exam. After that, if you pass, you will receive your certificate, otherwise not. But you can take part in one exam unlimited till you pass. If you are an IGP speaker, you can download all your previous certificates, speakership certificate. If you are a host of IGP, you can download your certificate of graduate. If you are an online quiz competition winner, you can download your certificate of participation. If you are an online quiz competition winner, you can download certificate of participation. If you are selected for lifetime membership, then you can download a certificate of lifetime membership easily. Besides this, if you participated in any word function which organized common support with IGP, you can download that also. You can instantly prepare and download 80 types of instant certificates from our website to the media. Certificate of Global Professional Membership, Certificate of Global Influencer during the pandemic, Certificate of Active Knowledge Seeker, Certificate of Social Activities during the pandemic, Certificate of Achievement IGP Knowledge Seeking Commune 2020, Certificate of Achievement IGP Knowledge Seeking Commune 2021. Certificate of Achievement IGP Knowledge Seeking Campaign 2022, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 1, Authentic Assessment in Teaching and Learning. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 2, Teaching English as a Foreign Language and Assessment. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 2, Teaching English as a Foreign Language and Assessment. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 3, Digital Classroom Engagement Tools. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 5, The New Trends in Education. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 5, Upskilling and Emotional Leadership and Managerial Skill. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 6, Trends and Innovation in Mathematics Education. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 7, Research Comprehensive Approach. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 8, Art and Teaching Special Program in the Art. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 9, 21st Century Tools in Digital Mathematics. Certificate of IGP Corporate Ambassador, Certificate of IGP Campus Engineer, which you can prepare and download within a minute. From now on, you can participate in 1000 international level quizzes with verified e-certificates. Teaching tips for teachers, health tips for parents, health tutorials, game and health tips for teachers. You can join IGP Alumni. You can check out our 50 plus premium services website for free and many more. We are IGP evaluations we promised previously, but lack of technical issue. We are late sending you on time. This is a great opportunity to collect your previous credentials. We solve all issues from our website. Now you can enroll, reset password, everything. You can check your dashboard for all webinar details. It's a cordial request to you check all buttons and pages on our website. Surely I can say you will be benefited. Thank you. But note that without an account or login, you can't enjoy our service. At present, we are going to start our 1468 program name is How to Improve Reading and Writing Skills from an Early Age. And our today's speaker is Ma'am Mrs. Chindi Priya Batianya. Before I hand over the stage to Ma'am, want to share a little about our speaker. He's from India, academic head of Foundational Years School in charge, a curriculum developer, teacher, trainer, and mentor, Antariksha, India.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So this is Chendi Priya. Uh, yes, thank you.
Okay, ma'am.
So
Uh,
yes,
some introduction about yourself.
yes. So let me tell about myself. My name is Chendi Priya Batina. So I'm a very passionate teacher. Okay, so I started my teaching when I was just 18 years old. I worked as teacher for the subject English, Maths, and Science. I worked as an academic in charge of the school. I worked as a vice principal, and my years of working is with the young children. I do a lot of research and I learn a lot about them, and I formulate new ideas to develop their different skills, developmental skills. So I'm also the founder and CEO of Clevercox. So Clevercox is a company that aims at building educational games for the children to help them develop different skills. So in maths and English. So that's short about myself. I'm also a mentor. So I train teachers. So I have trained almost 200 teachers till now, and I work with almost more than like 2,000 students. till now. So that's about myself.
Thank you, ma'am. Now the stage is yours. Carry on.
Yes.
Thank you.
So yes, so this was my introduction. As I said, like I'm very passionate teacher. So and I'm the founder of Clever Cox, a company that aims at building educational toys. It also provides offline and online classes for the kids. And I'm a teacher trainer. I train teachers. I'm an academic counselor. I counsel parents about the academics, and yes, I worked as an academic director. I'm a facilitator. So, facilitate learning is what a facilitator does. So, yeah, that's my role. And yes, and a phonics trainer. Yes, I train students in the phonics. I do train even teachers how to follow a phonic program. So, this is about myself. And today I'm going to talk about the topic how to improve reading and writing skills from an early age. So why is it so important to improve the skills from an early age is a big question. We'll be knowing more about it as we go further. Yes. So let's first we are going to learn about the benefits of language development, how it's going to benefit the children. Okay, and then we would go with the problems faced in today's generation. What are the kids? Where are the kids, and what are their developmental gaps in reading and writing skills? And after talking about the problem, we'll also go to the solution. How are we going to solve that problem? Okay, so that's what we are going to do today. So let's just start. What are the benefits of improving your language and literacy skills? First, it's that it builds your self confidence, self esteem. A child feels a good about themselves when they are at par with other students, when they are able to read and write uh, when they're able to read and write properly. So that builds a lot of confidence in them. And it encourages independent learning. They're not dependent on the teacher, they're not dependent on the parents. They are able to read books by themselves. They start reading storybooks. So that gives them the power. Okay, and it enhances cognitive development like thinking skills. Okay, it develops the child who learns, who reads books, improves his vocabulary. So at the age of it will be, it's very strange to know that a child of 18 months should have a vocabulary of 50. So just imagine what the vocabulary strength should be of a grade 1 or grade 2 or grade 3. So we will come to that part as we go further. And it strengthens your brain function. Okay, it improves your attention span, and it enriches your communication skills. Okay, the child who is able to read and write properly is able to communicate properly. He's able to express his ideas properly. Yes. So, what is literacy development? So, literacy development is the process of learning words, sounds, languages. Okay. And the acquisition of early literacy skills begins in the child's first year. The child actually learns this development right after his birth. Okay, so how is that possible? Yeah, we'll come to that. Okay, so they begin to discriminate, encode and manipulate the sound structure of language. And ability to, or what's the sound structure of language is the ability to call phonological awareness. Okay, they're learning sounds right after their birth. Okay, so before their first birthday, the child is able to understand, store the phonemes, like the sounds, letter sounds. So these are the basic units of meaning in the language in the memory. Like for example, if I have to say bat, so he's storing the three sounds of b, a, ch, bat. So this is how he stores the knowledge of each letter sounds in his mind. And in the subsequent years, they learn how to combine the sounds and make words. And then later they learn how to make sentences, form sentences after they form these words. Okay, and we feel that like the child actually learns letters, alphabet, alphabet after they come to school when they join in nursery. But that's not the thing. The child actually, before joining the nursery, he has almost learned all the phonic sounds before at home. Okay, but he doesn't know. He aware, the child learns sounds like b, k, d. So all the sounds he has covered. So these are the phonic sounds, and he doesn't know which sounds actually resemble to which letter. That's the thing which is missing. But the child knows the phonic sounds before he joins a school. Okay, so that's the truth. That's a fact. Yes. So let us now see what are the benefits of reading skills. Reading stimulates brain development in the child, okay, and adults. It promotes social and emotional skills that contribute to healthy lifestyles. So they talk, okay, they communicate with each other, okay, so that actually develops the PSCD, person social emotional development. Okay, and reading reduces stress, symptoms of depression. It lowers readers' blood pressure plus pulse rate, and it reduces the risk of Alzheimer's disease and late life cognitive decline. So it's the reading, regularly reading, it actually reduces your stress. Okay, you won't get into the depression, okay, because reading gives you a chance to be happy. Okay, you read good books, you have, you feel happy. Okay, so that's how it's going to help you in the cognitive development. Okay, and next, reading fiction actually enhances emotional intelligence by teaching how to perceive and understand other people's feeling. It also improves memory and ability to concentrate. So reading fiction actually increases the emotional intelligence, like putting yourself in others' shoes and actually understanding other people's feeling. So that really helps you to communicate better. And young children learn the skills they need to become successful readers as they develop early literacy skills. So, in addition to reading together, it's important to build vocabulary skills, comprehension skills, self-expression, and more when building early literacy skills. So with this reading, they also develop their vocabulary skills. They develop comprehension skills, like they read a passage, they understand what the passage is saying. Okay, comprehension, they're able to comprehend. And self-expression, so after learning, going through all this reading exercise, they are able to express themselves properly, putting using the right vocabulary. So this is how it's going to help them. Yes. And what are the benefits of writing skills? So, writing is one of the many skills that children practice in early years. And yes, it provides good opportunity for the growth and skill building. And we go with this pre-writing skills first between age 3 to 4 years when the child joins the school. So they start with the pre-writing skills where they master strokes, they master tracing, okay, before they could actually write letters. um, so this actually develops their motor skills, fine motor skills. Writing is critical to development because it improves self-esteem, literacy, communication skills. Okay, children learn to handle problems creatively and read because writing reinforces language and our skill. Okay, so children start thinking creatively. Okay, and when they start thinking creatively, it doesn't just stays in their mind. They could actually put it on a paper. Okay, and to put it on a paper, they should have the proper writing skills, how to present their ideas. Through writing, kids develop new ideas. Okay, they practice mindfulness. Kids reflect through writing. It is a creative outlet for children. Kids use to express themselves. They learn to manage personal thoughts. Kids master hand and eye coordination. Muscle develop during writing. Writing teaches children about literature, about different genres. Okay, it develops concentration, and writing reinforces language forms, different language forms like newspaper, magazine, and books. So what are the benefits of early literacy skill? Okay, developing early literacy skill. So that will really help the develop listening and comprehension skills in the kids. Okay, it assists with language development, and it expands their vocabulary. Okay, they learn a lot of vocabulary words. It supports their creativity. Okay, they're learning about the world around them. Okay, and it enhances social and emotional development, which I said, like, social emotional development is very important for the child to, live in because they have to live in a society, and they need to know how to communicate properly to, to the world outside. So now let us talk about the problem. Okay. So, this is a survey done in a class of grade three. Okay. So understanding what are the problems actually if they're facing in writing and reading. Let us go through those. Okay. First, so, wrong writing, 17%. Okay, mixing up the direction of letters. So I'll tell you what is the mixing of direction of letters. So for example, if I have to write T, I'm supposed to start it from the top and go down and bend a little to the right side and then draw a small line in the middle. So this is how I should be writing. This is the direction of writing the letter T. But actually, it doesn't happen like that for many of the kids, because what they do, they start from the down, and they go up, and then they draw the little line in the middle. So why is that? Why is that? We'll talk about it. Okay, so this is what mixing up the direction of letters is. Skipping. They miss some letters in the middle. For example, if he has to write carpenter, so he may just C A R, he can omit R and write Peter. So that doesn't make sense. So that is what skipping some of the letters, having trouble combining letters or syllables. So they are unable to combine the letters or blend the letters and read, like, they don't know how to, they might, give some spaces between B space then 80. So that doesn't make sense. Not paying attention to the lines in the notebook. So the like up to grade, certain grades, we have this lines, and the child, are habitual to write on the lines. Okay. But many students, they don't know how to, write on the lines. So and they face problem like those words don't touch the line. Then, like, punctuation errors, comma, full stop, like capitals, mixing up uppercase and lowercase, writing uppercase letters in middle of the words, forgetting the letter order while typing. Okay. Then inability to distinguish letters. Yeah, so you might have seen, like, some kids face problem with this B and D, so they confuse with B and D. So there are P and B, so they get confused because they look same to the kid, so they're unable to distinguish between those letters. Inability to achieve hand and eye coordination. Okay, so yeah, so they are not like, they do. So children who do not have this proper fine motor skills exercise in their early childhood, they actually face this problem. Okay, of this hand eye coordination. And illegible writing, that you cannot understand what the child has written, so the writing is not legible. And sloppy writing is not neat. Okay, so these are the problems that's the children face with the writing skills. Let us now look at the problem with the reading skills. Okay, misreading. So they just uh, read it wrong. Like, for example, I have actually come across a kid who is like, who has completed his grade 3, and when I ask him, to read a particular word like circumstance, so he reads CIRCUMSTANCE, circle. So he reads that word as circle, and like he's misreading. I mean, he's just used to this memorization method of reading words, that he has memorized some certain words, and if something starts with C and R, then he just goes, okay, it might be a circle. So that's the problem. They misread. Adding, yes, they add few letters into it and they read it. Okay, so if it is C and can, they just add T and they read it as can't. Okay. Skipping, they skip letters. Yes, they skip some letters in the middle and they read it. So that's how they, uh, pronounce the word wrong. inability to distinguish letters, yeah, so it happens B and D. Okay. Difficulty in making voices, inability to combine letters and syllables. So some students, they're good with this phonics. They know the phonic sounds, like they can see B and they can say b, they can see A, they can say a. If they see T, they can say T. Now, if I give them a word, BAT, they won't be, they don't know how to blend those letters and make the word bat. Okay, they struggle doing that. So they know the phonics, they don't know how to blend. So these are the different, stages in reading. We'll come across with it as we go further. Slow reading, yes, slow reading. So some students take a lot of time to read a simple paragraph. Okay, so and it happens in this manner, like because the child is habitual to read in a way. For example, if he has to read a line that the cat is on the mat, so instead of reading with the phonics, he would like go with each and every spelling, like TH the, CAT cat, IS is ON on, TH the, MAT mat. So you could see like how long it takes for the child to read only one sentence when his reading is habitual in this manner. Okay. And yes, so low self confidence. So when the child, I mean, compares himself like with some of the kids, like he's doing good, she's doing good, I'm not doing good, so I'm not good with this, so I should just leave this, I should just concentrate on something else. So that is how the child loses self confidence. And when he's not confident in himself, he loses the interest to actually read, to go on with that practice or at least try. Okay. So this is the problem, like was faced with the children having low self-confidence, forgetting. Okay. So the child forgets, forgetting those words and all that. So that is this is how, these are the problems which are these are the major problems which are faced with the kids, with this reading and writing skills. And let me tell you, so we will come to that, like why do particular, children face those problems. We'll come to that with our next slide. So this is what I'm going to show you. Like first, how do we when can we actually identify the gaps in children, that the children is actually not good with this vocabulary. How do we identify? So let me tell you, a child of 18 months should have the vocabulary of 50 words. 50 words, yes. So you might be wondering that how a child of 18 months should have a 50 sets of words, 50 vocabulary words. So that feels like impossible, but this is true. Okay. The research shows, yeah. So this is what a child of 18 months perfects a word of 50 words, and that also they choose their vocabulary words. A child who is, he loves of the sound d, he chooses his vocabulary words with most of the letters starting with d, da. Okay, so those are the words that he learns. Okay, and he has set of this 50 words that he has learned by the time he's in 18 months. Okay. So actually, what happens that we actually, see babies as they are born into the world with zero. Okay, there's zero. Okay, they don't know anything. So we are the one who are supposed to stuff things into their mind because they don't know anything. But let me tell you, like that's not the point. That's how we see things, but it's not true actually. A child, when he's born, he's actually born with 100. He has all the skills in him. Okay, the ability to learn, everything is in him. So we are supposed to just give the right environment, the right practices, and that really develop the child in a way it should. Okay, and when we do not provide all those facilities to the child, then he actually experiences, this learning gaps, or else no child is actually born with a learning gap. It's not by birth. Okay, it's the type of exercises that the child goes on from the birth, okay, till the age 5. And I think like like everyone knows, you know a child before 5 years, the child of 5 years have his 90% of the brain developed. Okay, 90% of the brain development is done by the time the child is at 5 years. Okay, so it's very important like how the child is developing. So we are supposed to see, and we need to put a lot of efforts, okay, from our side to develop the child till the age 5. So we need to see how the child is growing. We need to see how his his reactions to things, what he's interested in. So there are many things. Early childhood education is not a small thing. This is the place where you can do magics. Okay, so this is the place. By the time the child is 3 and 4 years old, the way he's grasping the vocabulary, okay, the way he's learning, we can actually predict how he's going to be in third and fourth grade. And by the reading ability of the child when he's in third grade can actually give us a prediction of how he's going to be in high school graduation. Okay, so that's the thing what it's saying, that first we need to talk, okay, make the children talk a lot, and then we should develop this reading habit in the kid, and then he's off to succeed. Talk, read, and succeed. Yes. Yes. So now let us discuss like why are the kids are having problems. And if you have seen in a table which I've shown, so different skills have different percentage of a different percentage. Like some students who are having problem with the letter identification are 13%. Students who are having problem with the another problem are in like in 10%. So there are so it's not like not everyone has the same problem. Every child has different problems. So why is that? Okay, why is that? So it's because the children have different learning styles. Okay, so not every child has the same learning style. Okay, so I would not say like set of students. If you know about this Reggio Emilia, which says that Reggio Emilia is the preschool approach to teach students, you will know that you might have come across a sentence that a child has 100 languages. Okay, so what do you mean by 100 languages? It's that they don't communicate only with a language like English, Telugu, Hindi. It's not about just a language. Even their body, expresses a different language. Their actions say different. Okay, so that's also a form of language. So children have, different. Now let's come back to this, like a learning style. So every child has different learning style. Okay, some students are of auditory learners. Okay, so these are the students who listen attentively in the class. So they listen to what the teachers are saying, and this really they can actually listen attentively and get what the teacher is saying, and they understand. So they're like learning by listening. So that's what auditory learners are. Visual learners are the learners who see, who learn by seeing. They, if you present some good diagrams, okay, so mind maps, okay, they learn better. They look at those drawings and they're able to understand that better. So, and some students are kinesthetic or physical learners. They learn by doing some movements, activities. So these are the kids who are termed as naughty in the class. So they don't sit in a place, they always move around. So it's very difficult to make them sit at a place, because it's their learning style. They have to move around, they have to just do something. They cannot just sit at a place for longer periods. So this is not that they're naughty, it's because it's their way of learning. Okay, and yes, verbal. So some students, they, you might have seen some students who wants to say something to the teacher, that teacher, I liked what you said today, I like some topics what you have shared today. So they do a writing, they draw some pictures, they give greeting cards to their teachers to express them. So they are the verbal learners. Okay, they learn verbally. Okay, logical. So this logical learners are the ones who ask you tricky questions. They try to identify the patterns. Okay, so they're like, they have a lot of critical thinking skills going in their mind. They're good with this critical thinking, so they are called logical learners. Social learners are the one who learn better when you put them in a group. They sit in a group, they do collaboration, they talk, so they learn better from each one, from their friends. So they got social learners. Then there are solitary learners. Okay, so you could call that it's an intrapersonal skills. Okay, they learn independently, individually, so they sit at a place and they just think about what is that, and they try to talk to themselves, yeah, self talking, and then they understand better. Okay, so this is how the learning style differs from students to students, and there will be some learners who have a mixed of four or mixed of five. Okay, so one thing is that, like, our education system mostly, caters to auditory learners. So, because, like, from the very, if you go with the olden ways of education, which is still in progress now, like, there's a blackboard, teacher coming to the blackboard, taking a chalk piece, writing things in the chair. She tells, and then she talks about those topic. She asks the children to make notes, write it down, and learn. So this is what auditory learners are given a lot of preference. So, and so teachers are most of the teachers are used to this method, because the kid who is actually learning at that time sees the teacher is taught me in the same manner. So, for example, I could say that my teacher taught me in the same manner, this blackboard chalk and talk method. So I might feel that that only works. Okay, so most of the teachers would think in the same manner, that I learned in the same manner, so that will also applicable to the other children. But it's not that. The generation has changed a lot. There were the nowadays, in order to make the students learn something, you need to make your classes super interesting. Okay, they should actually jump with excitement when the teacher is coming into the classes, and she's so that is how the classrooms are supposed to be now. That is how the teaching style of teacher should actually change. So this is the learning style. So after understanding the learning style, the teacher needs to come up with ideas that will cater to, at least 90% of this learning styles. Okay, students with these learning styles. So this is the reason why students are facing problem with reading and writing skills, because they have different learning styles, and the way the mostly the teachers teaching actually is not actually, catering to the learning styles of the students. So we need to change. If we change, so I'll just come up with the ideas. Okay, what we could do so that we can cater to this problems. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Yes. So how would be the reading and writing program should be? Okay. Let us just see. Now let me tell you, like, yes, how should be the reading and writing skills development program should be. So before coming to this, let me just tell you that I've been observing, many students. Okay, so as I said, like in the earlier, that I was the teacher of as English and maths teacher. I was also teaching science, so I was teaching students from grade 3 to 5. Okay, grade 3 to 5, grade 3 to 6, and even 7. Okay, so I could see a lot of students who have difficulty in memorizing things, like they don't they, even though I tell them today, they forget the next day. Okay, so, and I tell them tomorrow, then they forget the other next day. So I don't know, like, they're unable to retain a lot of information in their mind. Okay, they understand, they understand the lessons, but they're very reluctant to memorize things. And and why are they forgetting things so often? So, I had a question. So it's not that my students weren't doing good, they were doing excellent. Okay, so I never give up. So my point is, I never give up on any students. Okay, I have to do it. I have to make a progress in the child, because when a teacher gives up, the child remains unlearned. Okay, so the child is not going to learn. So if it's not the teacher, then who is going to teach the children? So that's the reason I never give up on any student. So when after trying everything, pampering, even catering to that, kinesthetic learners, like doing some activities and all that, and see still if I find some students who are having this difficulty in reading and or writing, so I would just go to my draw room and just come up with ideas, brainstorm ideas, go through the internet and find things that would really help my kids. So what I found is that the reason that students who are in grade 3, 4, and 5, they are having some problems with they're having some gaps in this reading and writing is because of the lack of proper training in the pre-primary. Yes, so that's what has taken me to the pre-primary. So after being a teacher for almost 13 years, working in the primary sections for almost 9 years, my other 3 years were mostly focusing on research about this pre-primary. So that's how I've understood a lot about Reggio Emilia Waldorf curriculum. So because I wanted to find a solution, so the problem is here, okay, but the problem is here is because of the problem in the pre-primary, okay, because of lack of proper systematic order of a flow of the phonics or reading skills program. That is the reason that they are facing this problem. So I would go there. Okay, so now I need to actually understand where the problem is and how could we help with the students. Okay, so I'm going to share with you that how should we go with the pre-primary. So this is about how to improve the reading and writing skills in the early education. Okay, when we are introducing letters to the to the children, how are we supposed to introduce? If we are teaching the writing skills to the child, how are we supposed to do it? So it is not difficult to learn a new thing. Okay, not difficult to learn a new thing, but it is very difficult to learn something in a wrong manner, then unlearning it and then relearning it. So that's the most difficult part. And in some places it becomes so difficult when you have to unlearn something. When the cup is empty, you can fill it with water, tea, coffee. But when this cup is already filled up, no matter whatever you pour in, it just goes out. Okay, so in order to pour something, you need to empty that cup. And it's really very difficult in some cases, because when something is not working, and some people are very consistent in teaching them, and you would see some parents getting frustrated when their kids are not learning reading. They just smash them and they say, no, you have to read, you have to read, go on again and again. So that somewhere stresses the child, and he even though he's unable to do it, he just somehow fixes his mind that this is how things should be done. And I've tried many times and I cannot do it. Okay, but still I will go on with this matter. So that's the very important thing that we need to notice and we need to change. Okay, so this session is mostly for all the parents, okay, and for the teachers who wants to teach, okay, children how to read and write. So this would really help you. Okay, and I really want everyone to go on in this manner because this actually works. And if the child is going through this, okay, this will really give a good developmental that it will give good development to the kid. So let's start. So how are we supposed to, start developing the skills in the child? So first, whenever we are learning or introducing the sounds, alpha letter sounds to the child. Okay, so let me tell you what is the content here. So first, we should teach the children how to learn the sounds. Okay, then we should teach the child how the letter is formed. Okay, then we are supposed to teach the child blending. Okay, how to blend the letters and make a word, and then identify sounds in a word as someone says it. Okay, tricky words. And then the last part is tricky words. So as it's a tricky part, tricky words, I will go to the talk about it at the last. So learning the letter sounds. So learning the letter sounds, Let us just see. Whenever we are introducing letters to the child, usually it goes on in this manner, like you just write it on the board A, and we ask the child to repeat that, but that's the wrong way. Do not show that letter to the child. See, the education, whenever you're teaching, the transition should be always from the known to unknown. So as I said, that child, by the age he's 18 months, he has actually covered all the sounds. He knows how to say b, k, t, r. So he knows all the sounds, okay, but he doesn't know which sound is for which letter. So that's what we are supposed to teach him. So let him go with the sounds, okay. First we need to teach them sounds, okay, and then introduce the letter. Like first the child should know the sound s, okay. He has made the sound somewhere, so somewhere he might have done the made the sound, okay. So we need to actually connect that sound to the letter. So when we are introducing letter sounds to the child, like S. So some books you will see that they start with the letter S because that's easy to pronounce, and it's easy to make S with your hands. Okay. In some books you will see that the letter start. They start the letter I first because they feel that the child should know about himself. So I. So he should know that word I. Okay. I is a word and a letter both. So they should know the I. So that's how they start. So this is a different way. So you can go with a b c, or you can go with a different form, like different groups of letters, like in jolly phonics they go with SATPIN, okay. So that is how they start. So they do this because if the child is aware of this six letters of the first group, they can make as many as more than 18 words with that, okay. So that is how, so it differs. So you can do that. So first we are supposed to introduce the letter sounds and then connect it to the letters, okay. This will really help. So first, there will be many phonic exercise. There will be Johnny phonics. There are many phonic exercise which you'll find in the internet, okay. So they have poems with this phonic letters, they have stories with these phonic letters. So we are supposed to go with that, okay. So we are supposed to teach the phonic sounds, then connect it with the letters, then the letter formation, how the letters are formed. So this is the second step. The child should go with this air writing or sand writing, okay. They can just take a plate of sand and they can form letters on that. So here we are supposed to be very specific on how the child is supposed to write. This is the way you can actually eradicate the problems which the child will face in the future if he doesn't know how the letters are formed properly. Which side, from where it should start, where should it end. Like when you start A, you're supposed to teach him that you start from the top, you go down, go up, and then a little curve. A. Okay, so that is how teaching letter formation is very important. And then the blending. So how are we going to bring this sounds, letter sounds together and make a word? Like if I want to say mat, okay, so it has three sounds. So I would say at. So this is called blending. So when the child says it again and again, he gets how to blend those letters and make a word. So this is very important exercise, okay. And then identifying. So if I say shout, the child should identify the sounds in the word sh, out, three sounds sh, out. So that is how the child should identify the sounds in the words. And yes, the tricky parts are the words that they're called sight words, dot words, fry words. They do not follow the phonic rule. So that's the reason they're called the tricky words. So the tricky words is something that's taken from Jolly Phonics. Yeah. Now, learning the letter sounds. So, when we are learning the letter sounds, the rate of introduction, how are we going to introduce how many words? Like, for example, as I said, like SATPIN, if you go with the groups, So we need to cover these groups for a week, or for how are we going to introduce them, which with which rate. Okay, so that forms that forms 1 point. Okay, so how are we going to introduce? So that depends. Like you could do it how the childrens are getting it. So actually, it's very good to for example, if you go for like a grade 3 child, you should introduce one sound 1 week. Okay, for the for grade 3, sorry, for a 3 years kid. Okay, so one sound 1 week. So what can we do for this 1 week with for example, a single letter sound? So you need to first go with the poem. Okay, so there are many poems, like for example, if you take with start with A. So there's a poem like answer my answer my so you could go with the poem for the first day, then a story with the second day, where you are going to tell a story where they'll have a lot of words, vocabulary words starting with a sound. Okay, and then you could do a letter activity. Okay, then you can make even letter hats. So this is how you can actually have a lot of ideas from the internet. Okay, and you can actually engage the child for a whole week with one letter sound. So this is for grade, so sorry, 3 year kid. Okay, so when it comes to 4 year, you can actually introduce two sounds uh, a week. Okay, so it differs. The rate of introduction would differ from based on the age of the child. Now, introduction of sound shades, yes. So let me tell you, like, students are facing a lot of problem with the reading and writing skills. It's because of one primary reason, is that we're not talking enough to a child. We're not talking to the child the way we used to do earlier. Like I understand, like, parents being very busy, and when the child is born and we feel that as he's born with a zero, he doesn't know anything, what will we talk with them? But this is the time when you are supposed to talk to a child a lot, because he's learning, he's observing. And see, playing just TV or some audio device so that the child will be listening to songs. Okay, and that is not a good idea, because the child cannot understand the movement of the lips when mom or or someone is talking to the child actually looking at you, he's actually looking at your lip movement and understanding that how are the sounds changing when your movement of your lip is changing. So that is very important. You need to talk to the child directly, looking at him, so that he looks at you. And even if you want to sing, you're a bad singer, doesn't matter, but you need to sing to your child. Okay, so so this is how they learn the vocabulary. The vocabulary doesn't happen just you play some audio devices and the child learning from that. It doesn't happen. Okay, I have encountered some children, the students who are in, like, 3 years or 4 years old, even 5 years old. They don't look at you when you're talking. So they don't look at you, and these students will have some problem with the speech. It's because they from early age, they were not they didn't talk to a lot of people. The people were not talking to them, and they were not engaged in a lot of listening exercise. So that's the reason they face this problem with speech. You need to talk to the child, you need to look at him or her and talks, and then only they get your movements. How are you talking, how are you making sounds? So that's very important. So introduction of sound shifts. So what happens here, right? You will be having a letter on that, and you will be having the movement of your, how are you supposed to uh, how is the movement of the lips should be when you are saying a particular letter. Like, for example, if I am saying the sounds of uh, M, that is So so my lip movement is different. Okay. So when I'm saying the sound of S, so you could see that the your lip movement is different for different sounds, and the child needs to understand that. So that's what the sound shifts are for. Okay. And then the order of letter sound groups. So as I said, introducing the letter sounds in groups like SATPIN. First group CKHERDMD. The second group, so these are done in such a manner that if the child completes the first three groups, he'll be able to read almost 60% of the text which they see, which actually follow the phonic rules. And then division of letter sounds, revising these letter sounds, and yes, some alternate spellings like O U O W. So there are the different alternate spellings of vowels, which the child needs to know. So this will be the last part to be covered. Okay, so this is what you're supposed to teach. This is the order that how you're supposed to go with this reading, uh, reading skills and all that for the children. So now let us go with the letter, learning letter formation. So how does the child goes with the letter formation? So the child learns how to hold a pencil. Okay, so for this, it's not that to learn pencil hold, it's not that you should actually give a pencil to him and tell him to start writing. No, that's not how it happens. You need to give him a lot of activities that involve involves your finger, the movement of your fingers. Okay, fine motor skills is how you use your fingers. Okay, and how your eye and hand coordination is developing with that. So there are many the activities where you tear some newspapers, you have to pick things with your index and thumb and put it in some places. So there are many activities which involves the movement of your fingers. And once you are good with this, okay, you will learn how to hold a pencil. Okay, and then comes like when we are the letter formation. So after you teach them like how the letters are written, when you are writing the letters together, okay, we need to teach the child that not all the size of the letters are same. So there are some tall letters like B, D, H, K. They are called tall letters. Okay, because if you write it on a four-line book, you will say that it is covering the first three lines. Okay, so and they're tall, they're just they're standing tall, so they're called tall letters. And next, there are some set of letters which have a tail, so they go down. Okay, so they cover the last three lines of a four rule book. Okay, so that's called tail letters. Y, G, J, they're called the tail letters. And then there are caterpillar letters. Okay, so caterpillar, a caterpillar is of a same length, right? So ACEMN. So these are the some set of letters which are called caterpillar letters, and they are written on just the second and third line of a four ruled line. In a four rule line, you will see that they are written on second, and they're written in between second and third. That's it. They're not like tall letters which will cross. They're not like tail letters which will go down. Okay. So this is what it is. Okay, so this is how we are supposed to teach the child the basics of this tall, tail, and caterpillar letters. And if they're very clear, when they're clear with this writing practice, the child will not face problem in in the sizes of the letters. He knows that this is a tail letter, that's a tall letter, and this is the caterpillar letter. So this is how they're clear with this. So this is what it means, like learning in the right manner. Now blending. So there are many blending exercise. Okay, so this is very important part after learning the sounds. How to blend those sounds and make word is the next step to reading. So there are different methods of reading. There's oral blending. So oral blending is with fingers. So as I just showed you, like b at b at. So the child says it again and again. He says it fast, and then he blends. Okay, so it happens with your fingers, blending with your fingers. Okay, this is called oral blending. Okay, blending with your fingers. So you can also blend four words also, like s, n, ip, snip, snip. Okay, so this is how oral blending is done. Visual blending is done by showing flashcards to the kid. Okay, and each letter has a dot down. So the child actually puts his finger on the dots and blends the word like at cat, and then he just traces them fast and says the word. Okay, so that is visual blending. So these are the two ways of blending. Okay, so the blending exercise is one with a finger, one with a flashcard. It's because there are students with different learning styles. So a child who is very child who's very keen in just moving, so he can actually move his fingers, and he can do the blending exercise. A child who is very good with seeing, visual learners, okay, they can actually go with these flashcards. So so two methods are explained, so it is according to the child what he's learning fast with, that you need to choose the right way. Okay. Consonant blending and digraphs. So consonant blending is like two consonants blend together, like bl, cl. So these are two consonant blends. So when the consonant blends, when it's done, you will actually notice two sounds. You can actually listen to the sound k, l, cl. Okay, so two sounds. You can hear the two sounds. And what is a digraph? Digraph is like two vowels making one sound. Okay, so two but one, like boat, boat, boat. So it's a b, o. Okay, so o and a, so they are both combined together and they are the digraph is making a one sound. Then yes, and after blending exercise are done, we are supposed to start issuing reading books to the kid. So we could actually go. There are different reading books which you'll find in the shop, or there is an app called Epic. Okay, so you can actually find a lot of books, story books there. So and it goes on from grades. Okay, you can start with the pre-K grade, you can go with the kindergarten grade one. So the different books, there are read to me books. Okay, so that will really enhance the reading skills of the child. So after learning the skills of how to read, he should start reading the books. That will really create interest in the child. Yes. So identifying the sounds in the word consonant blends. Okay. So initial consonant. So how initial consonant blends is like it's starting with, a final consonant is ending with. Starting with, like I could say clock, final consonant. I can also say the same clock or click, where the final ck is the final consonant blends. Here, initial consonant blends were cl, starting with, and then ck ending with. Okay, so these are the blends. Uh, so word building, so having this a lot of words, sticking it to some in your house or in the classroom, and making the students see them and learning through it. Conducting dictations, yeah, sentence dictations. We could actually, after the child is good with this reading practices, we could actually go with dictation. Guided writing, so helping the child to write. Okay, and after guided writing is done, the child will actually could go with the independent writing by himself. And tricky words, as I said, these are the words that do not follow phonic rule, and these are the tricky part. Like take the example of the. The is a tricky word because the sound of the are different, and we do not pronounce those sounds when we are telling the. We It's just the. So the, okay, is, there are she, he. So all these are tricky words. Okay, all these are called tricky words. How do we read this tricky words? So I'll tell you that the good way to read this tricky words is that introducing this words as like it's a picture. Okay, for example, I show you the word the on a flashcard and say this is the. Just read it as the. Don't read it with the phonic sound. Just remember them as a picture. So initially, so as the child is habitual to that. Okay, so you show them the, they will say the. This she, this is she, this is me. So they should actually learn this words by sight. So that's the reason they are called sight words. Okay, they're called sight words. It's because you learn them by sight. Okay, so that is how you're supposed to learn those tricky words. So if you are done with the first 100 sight words, you could actually read 60% of the books. Okay, 60% of the books in 60% of the text in books are actually this words. So 60% of the words you could actually learn if you know the sight words, and the other 40% is just the words which follow phonic rule, which you should have mastered first, and then the tricky words. Okay, and like how to learn spellings of this tricky words. So let me tell you, not only tricky words, you could go with any like normal words, okay, regular words. There is a strategy, it's called spelling strategy. Okay, look, copy, cover, write. So these are the 5 steps in that. So for example, if I have to learn the spelling of weight, so I will look at that word weight, okay, and I will look at it and I'll observe. Okay, a weight has a 8, and if I add a W at the beginning, it becomes weight. Oh, that's how I need to look, and I need to get interested in that word. And after that, I need to understand that word. Okay, just look at it, and just have your own perception of that word. And then you need to copy that word. Okay, copy means write it down. Okay, write that word. Okay, once. After that, cover that word. Okay, and then write it without seeing, and then check whether you have written it correctly or not. Okay, so look, copy, cover, write, check. So this is a method by which you can actually learn spellings. The child learns spellings independently. I know there's a method that's more in use, like the teacher gives drilling of those words like cat, and the child is very bored, and he does this parrot reading, of just doing it habitual, and then he forgets it. It's like a song, they just remember things like a song. That doesn't work out. So this is a good method. I've been using this since almost 8 years, and it's been very successful. Okay, children are able to do it on their own. It's not that I need to be I need to be after those kids. Okay, they are able to read those words. I just give them some 10 words. I start with 5 words, okay, then 10 words, and I ask them like, go read this all by yourself. They just write it down, they look at it, they copy once, and then cover it, and they write and then check. Okay, so this is a good way of doing it. So we are actually encouraging independent learning there, and say as it sounds. Okay, so this is what learning those tricky words by sight, having word walls, word families, like at family, okay, it family. So these are the word families that we could actually put it in our house or in in your classrooms to teach children. Okay, so this is how I teach kids. I teach my daughter in the same manner. So yeah, so this is how like I teach my students, and many people in the same manner, many students in the same manner. It's been really helpful to me. So I would like just end this with a note that, like, we every child is able to read and write. So we are facing problem with students who are having these gaps is because they did not go with a proper way of learning, learning reading and writing program. Okay, so and we could make a difference, okay, in it, by actually helping each and every child, understanding where they're lacking, understanding the learning style, okay, and what works for them. So what works for a student may not work for the other kid. Okay, but we need to actually identify. That happens when we assess the child. Okay, when we have this conviction, determination that no, I need to do it, I am not going to give up. Okay, so when you have that conviction, you can, I mean, everyone can do magics. That's it. So thank you for listening to me. So yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your rich content presentation, which can impact our knowledge seekers surely. After your presentation, I hope our knowledge seekers can learn something new, which was our only intention. Learn and grow together, IGP knowledge seeker. Once again, thank you so much, dear ma'am, for your presentation. Now, ma'am, it's time for our question and answer session, which is the one more valuable part of our regular webinars. Honorable ma'am, please stay with us. After a short video, we will be back in our session part 2, which is the question and answer part. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, please ask your questions in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question and answer, we have webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, please ask your questions in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question and answer, we have webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, please ask your questions in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question and answer, we have webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, please ask your questions in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question and answer, we have webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP knowledge speaker, we are still waiting for your question. Anyone asks you question, then you ask from our speaker. Thank you, ma'am. I think we are covered all of our topics. Now, once again, thank you so much, Honorable Ma'am, for your time in IGP. We have learned a lot from you with new topics. It will add some value to our day-to-day activity along with our academic and professional growth. Honorable Ma'am, hope to see you again with a new topic and new date. Thank you, ma'am. Take care. Honorable Ma'am, before we move to the next webinar certification process, if you want to leave this studio, you can, ma'am. আমি বলে নিই না আমারটা। IGP Knowledge Seekers is time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. We will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Certification certification process. Visit www.eduigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find a running session and get enrolled. After watching or completing part registration, click Mark as complete. Move to the next, which is the learning test quiz passing mark 80%. If passed, back to the course again to download the certificate. If failed, to retake the course. Download your certificate in PDF or JPG. For your attention, I am going to share the procedure again. Certificate instruction. Visit www.eduigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Sign up or sign in. Find a running session and get enrolled. After watching or completing for one written session, click Mark as complete. Move to the next, which is the learning test quiz, passing mark 80%. If pass, back to the course again to download your certificate if failed to retake the quiz. Download your certificate in PDF or JPG. Dear RGP Knowledge Seekers, it's time for the most engaging part of this webinar, which is an online quiz competition, which is our regular webinar activity. We change a few processes for online live quiz competitions. Note that after a live, no one can participate. Participation process. Visit now time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition, please follow my instruction carefully. Now time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Visit www.eduigp.com and sign up or sign in. Without this, you can't join live quiz competitions anymore. Browse the live quizzes button or click a link. Find the session name and join with your log website or user account. Click join and wait for a few minutes for others to join. Enjoy an online live quiz competition. After the quiz, we will issue certificates for top 10 as previously, which you can find on our website and official Facebook page. After a short video, we will start our quiz session. I think 50 people have already joined us. Dear IGP knowledge seekers, please join with us. After 2 minutes, we will start our quiz session. are now start our quiz session. Our first question is, how do you improve your students' reading and writing skills? A. Make them communicate more often with their surroundings. B. Giving talks by making them read regularly. Correct answer is B. Giving tasks by making them read regularly. On the leaderboard, first person name is Michael O. Virogoni. Next question is, list some ways to improve students' reading, writing, listening, and speaking skills. A. Asking question and critic, writing work. B. Require memorizing. Correct answer is A. Ask questions and critic writing work. On the leaderboard, first person name is Michael O. Barongoy. Next question is, research helps students to improve their reading and writing skills. A. True, B. False. Correct answer is true. On the leaderboard, first person name is Michael O. Barongoy. Next question is, ELLN aims to improve the reading and writing skills of kindergarten to grade 3. Correct answer is B. Kindergarten to grade 3. On the leaderboard, first person name is Michael O. Barongoy. Next question is, who wants to improve writing and reading skills this year? Mr. Dal, everyone in this class. Correct answer is everyone in this class. On the leaderboard, first person name is Michael O. Barongoy. Next question is, how did improvements in literacy, reading and writing help to improve medical ideas? A. People could read the works of Galen. B. More people could read about new ideas. Correct answer is B. More people could read about new ideas. On the leaderboard, first person name is Michael O. Barongoy. Next question is, Mr. C. A better vocabulary to improve reading comprehensive and writing skills. A. Champions. B. Laments. Correct answer is A. Champions. On the leaderboard, first person name is Michael O. Barongoy. Next question is, to improve your literacy level, practice reading, writing, and vocabulary skills. A. Topic sentence. B. Closing sentence or clean chart. Correct answer is Topic sentence. On the leaderboard, first person name is Liu Fasunula. Next question is to improve your literacy level, practice reading, writing, and vocabulary skills. A topic sentence with transition or transitional phrase. Correct answer is B. Transition or transitional phrase. On the leaderboard, first person name is Marvel Marasigo. Next question. Why did Shadrach want to improve his reading and writing skills? A. So he could go to high school and colleges, B. So he could move back to his country. Correct answer is A. So he could go to high school and college. On the leaderboard, first person name is Marveli Marasike. Our question is finished. Congratulations to our webinar online quiz competition winner has top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes to finalize the result, and after that we will issue our online quiz competition certificates on our website and official Facebook page. Congratulations to our webinar online quiz competition winners top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes to finalize the result, and after that we will issue our online quiz competition certificates on our website and official Facebook page. Congratulations to our webinar online quiz competition winners top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes to finalize the result, and after that we will issue our online quiz competition certificates on our website and official Facebook page. At the end of our session, we can say properly feed your skills, never stop learning because life never stops teaching us. Be happy and stay safe. See you again and again. We want your participation in every program. If you want to live a happy life, dive to ego, not to people or things. Albert Einstein. Before I say or hit the end live button, again want to thank all IGP knowledge seekers for your active participation as always. See you in the next session.